Welcome back everyone to Outward Platinum Walkthrough. The last episode we have been completing the Sand Corsaires quest. We are very close to the finish now. The only thing left to do is to deal with the bandit leader, and we are right in front of him. We have taken care of all his bandits in this place, which was optional and fun, or maybe not. And we also killed Luke the Pearlescent and robbed him of his clothes. So let's talk to Zagis.
What now?
Bow, Levantine rat, for you stand before the rightful king of Abrasar. I am Zagis, Chamber Lord of Old Levant, Lord of the Sand Corsaires. So, you're the leader of these murderous thugs.
Now listen close.
I do what I must in order to restore the rightful legacy of the Abrasar Plains. Elad gave away what he had no right to. Just because Calixa and Simeon slew the Devourer doesn't mean that my people should surrender what is ours by right. Your people abandoned Abrasar to the Scourge. Maybe it's someone else's turn to run things.
This is a grave insult.
They don't even recognize the flaws of the Blue Chamber. Without rigid tribal law, there is no hope for survival. Levant seems to have survived pretty well without them, before you started trying to starve them to death and murdering traitors. That may be true, but it was all I could do to keep the flame of Old Levant alive. I will not be the one to extinguish that legacy. I would rather die than let Old Levant be destroyed. Alright. Since I want to acquire his weapon, the Zagis Saw that you can see on his back, the only way to get it is to defeat him in combat, so I'm going to choose the rather non-diplomatic approach. If you don't care about it, it's not that great. It's just so you can see how you can get it. So in case you don't want to fight him, just use the pacifist option. But I want to smack him good. Then the only way my people will be safe is to kill you. Defend yourself, Zagis. Would be the answer if my buffs were ready. So I'm gonna quickly do that. Enrage. Focus. Defensive runes. Alright. Let's go, my friend.
What now? Now listen, this is a...
This battle theme is so awesome. Come on, my guy. Okay, missed the first parry. Nice, the second one's set. Right there. Here we have this Zagis Saw. Unfortunately, you cannot take his armor off him. It will be rewarded later on. But this Zagis Saw is a nice great sword with pretty poor reach if you take a look at it. It's not that large, but it inflicts pain with one strike, which means as soon as you hit an enemy once, it will increase its own damage output. Except the enemy has some sort of resistance, but it's one of the few weapons that inflicts pain, especially in only one hit. It's nice to have. It looks pretty dope. I wish it was a little longer, maybe, or a little bit stronger. I mean, there's a nice enchantment you can put on it, so you can make it a little more nasty, but I prefer, when I use two-handed weapons, I prefer to have some reach. Okay. Let's leave the tower and report to our captain. Oops.
Great work.
With their leader dead, it's only a matter of time before we cleaned out the rest of these criminals. The Sand Corsaires and Old Levant will be a distant memory before long.
Now the question remains, what do we do about this man?
He's a Soroborian banker who was funding the entire operation. He could easily be the brains behind it all.
How dare you?
If you want the real culprits, point your fingers at Zagard, Battleborn of the Blue Chamber, and at Zagis himself. All I did was keep things running smoothly. I think that's plenty. You still went along with their unhinged plans. You're still a war criminal, as far as I'm concerned. I think we ought to make an example of you. Cyrene, do we give him the firing squad or hanging?
This is unacceptable.
Hold up there a minute. Do you think Sorobor will take an execution of one of their most rich and reputable bankers lightly? We are the only way to get supplies through the desert. Kill me and you kill Levant itself. I don't think Sorobor will be happy if this scandal went public though. They might arrange for you to disappear to save their reputation. Huh, I see. You want a personal favor in exchange for my silence. Very well, you're not the first to blackmail me. What kind of favor are we talking about? Okay, you have two choices now, and they have some minor implications. The first one increases the timer on a quest. I think it's the next one or the second after that. I'm not going to choose that because I don't need an extension on the timer. But I want the best kind of favor, the kind we get to decide on whenever we need it.
This is troubling.
Very well. If you need my extensive finances, just drop my name and I'll handle it for you. As long as you don't tell Sorobor what I was doing, my word is gold.
Well, I guess that wraps this mission up.
Report to Cyrene over there and we can call it a day. But before I do that, I'm a little hot right now. Nice.
Good work. With their leader dead, the Sand Corsaires are nothing more than disorganized rabble.
We'll have the last of them put down by the end of the week, and most of them are Old Levant too. 2 birds, 1 bullet.
You've earned this.
Queen Calixa will no doubt recognize what you did for Levant. Here, your reward for a job well done. Okay, you can choose to follow along with the convoy to get straight back to Levant, or you can just travel on foot. I want to save time and take the convoy now. So, we have successfully blackmailed a Soroborian banker, and he does owe us a favor. And we will make use of that favor later on. But before that... No, nothing before that. Mouse to feed. Nice. So, Sand Corsaires is done. That was... It took me a little longer. I did not expect the bandits put up that much of a fight. But I am now ready for the mouths to feed. There's nothing really to do in between except for selling things and hoarding gold, the usual grind. If you're running low on resources, remember, use the alchemy kit and the cooking pot in here, or you can also just use the cooking station, the kitchen over here. I just like to have both things right next to each other to save a little time. Okay, so I'm going to go through my inventory, see which things I'm going to need for the ride, and I will see you right back when I'm rested and my equipment well repaired. Alright, we are back at the house. We are well rested. Our quest will become available in 17 minutes in-game. So I went around town, I sold the junk I picked up from the bandits. I bought all the gold ingots. The next thing we are going to do is a lot of travel. So if you have a camp set up in town, make sure you pick up everything. Otherwise it will get deleted while the area is resetting. Yeah, I have 450 gold ingots with stockpile Thomas, so we are pretty good on that. Mouths to feed is available now. And for this quest you will be needing the Phytosaur Horn and 5 Marshmelons. And depending on your choices, you may also need a chunk of silver, which means 300. And we will need the Ornate Granite Tablet, which we have already picked up from the Spire of Light. But I'm going to show you where to go in case you didn't already pick it up. So let's go ahead, talk to Calixa, and see what she has to say.
Thank you for coming. Levant is in grave danger.
Not only has the war turned against us, but we face imminent famine. We need a mercenary who can get things done.
Disaster has struck. It's only a matter of time before starvation begins.
So, disaster has struck Sirocco. They can no longer send food to Levant. Without the steady supply of goods from the region, it's only a matter of time before starvation begins. We need a new food resource.
This weighs on my mind.
The city of Monsoon in the Hallowed Marsh has offered to supply us, but the small amount of bread and dried meat isn't enough. Yet everything else perishes in the desert journey.
I have a task for you.
Kirak has gone to Monsoon to work with their alchemist, Lane Aberforth, to find some kind of food that might last long enough to survive the journey. Do anything you can to make this work. I've heard you've done a lot to help the slums. Right now they have a steady fruit supply and enough rations to last about a month and a half before our shortages become extreme. Okay, I'll take care of things.
Levant's survival is on the line. Make it happen.
Find Kirak and Lane in Monsoon as soon as you can. So, this quest has a pretty tight timer, so you don't want to waste any time messing around. You don't want to get into unnecessary fights with the chance of dying, because that might turn the time ahead a little bit more than you anticipated. So it could take you 2 or 3 days if you are not lucky enough. So head straight to Unmerker Forest. Next head straight to Monsoon, to the Hallowed Marsh, and then straight to Monsoon. I will see you right back when I'm there. Alright, Hallowed Marsh, here we are. I already took 3 marshmelons from my inventory, but in case you don't have any in supply, I'll show some locations where you can grab some along the way, which is not too much of a detour. So if I'm not totally wrong, there should be one nearby. These rocks. It's the palladium. Might as well take that. Okay, there's none here. But there are 3 in the farm right next to Monsoon. Okay, let's grab that. So we technically only need to find 2, because 3 more are pretty close to our destination anyway. There's one. Do keep in mind that these things are heavy as hell. once we're here, we might as well quickly run through the Spiral of Light so I can show you where you would have to to grab the tablet to save some time. But if you have followed along, you should already have it, just in case you didn't. Okay, there we go. Spire of Light, here I come. Okay, the level puzzle is already done. I'm just going to quickly run through. This would be number 1. This is the teleporter that needs to be unlocked. So quickly, lever number 2. It's over here. This one here must also be switched, or flipped, or whatever, or pulled. Then you can use the teleporter. We need to run to this one. There's a lever in the back over here. This one needs to be pulled, flipped, or switched. And then we can make our way back across this little bridge. And in here will be the final tablet. Also, this lever here is important for the lever puzzle, but tablet would be in there. We already took it, so no biggie. Now we can make our way to Monsoon. We're also coming real close to the end of the Heroic Kingdom faction questline. But it's still too early to celebrate. We still have to save Levant from starvation. Okay, let's head up here. Follow this path north. Just the usual. When you take this little stone bridge over here, the stone pathway, there will be another Marshmelon to find if I'm not mistaken. There's a corpse. Marshmelon jelly. Great. Okay, apparently I am mistaken. Yeah, no matter, no matter. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of running around. Many of the enemies, I mean, you can fight through every fucking single enemy that you see, but it's not really worth the investment. I mean, the chance of getting killed, especially with a guy like this, it's just too high, so you can get a recurve bow and an iron sword. The best chance of survival that we have is to avoid combat in general. Oh, that's nice. Okay, almost there. Here's the second one. All right. Okay. Behind this archway, next to the rocks to the on the left side, there's another Marshmelon that you can gather from. There it is. That's number 3. These guys, by the way, are the Phytosaurs that you would have to kill to get a horn. It's not a guaranteed drop, so it might take you a few of them to find it. Yeah, I wasn't lucky, but I got another Marshmelon. Okay, let's head through this construction. Okay, here's another Marshmelon. Okay, Marsh Captain is hot on our tails. I also want to grab the Greasy Fern up here because it's a little more rare. Okay, if I'm really lucky, there will be a Tyrannosaur guarding the farm. And I usually am lucky with... yeah, there he is. Okay, this might complicate things a little. I'll try to get him to either bugger off, fight the Marsh Captain, or not notice me at all. That's also great. Good, good. And here are 3 more. Great. Now that has been done. Oh, there he is. Come on, leave me alone. Go away. Yes, great. Wow. Marsh captains are tough. Marsh captains are really tough. Good. Reload the guns. All set. Let's head to Monsoon. Alright, alright. Yeah, I remember when I tried to melee a Tyrannosaur with the champion of the Blue Chamber Collective, and it didn't go too well. And this guy just tanked it. Okay, we want to find the alchemist. I also want to check the merchants again.
Greetings, friend.
Greetings. Greasy Fern. Right. Here's the alchemist.
Is there something you need?
I'm here to talk about Levant's food shortage.
Wait, what?
You're the one Levant sent to help us? Good. I could use a hand. I've almost used my entire stock of marshmallows in my experiments, and there's a really tricky ingredient that I need brought in.
Can you help with this?
I've got about one possible solution left, and to test it, I'm going to need 5 marshmallows and 1 Phytosaur Horn. You'll recognize them by the 4 legs and the ferns on the back. The marshmallows shouldn't be too hard to find, although they are pretty heavy. Just as I told you. As for the Phytosaur Horn, if you can't find one out in the swamp, you may have better luck underground.
Is there something you need?
Did you bring the ingredients I need? I need 5 raw marshmallows and a Phytosaur Horn. I got your ingredients. A lad's breath, they are heavy.
Thank you for
A Phytosaur Horn, yes, perfect, thank you. Now I just need to soak the plant in a mixture with this overnight and hope for the best. If I'm right, this should fool the marshmallow plant into thinking it's still growing in the swamp. Come back in about 12 hours, alright? In the meantime, I work on a few other ideas Kurak had, although I have my doubts about them. If my hunch is right, we may need to ask the Sauroboreans for help, and it can't be cheap. Try to scrunch up some extra coins in the meantime. Okay, half a day, which is 7 a.m. Okay, while I'm here,
What can I do for you?
yeah, not too much apparently. I could sell some of the junk I just picked up. But, as I told you, we want to sell in Levant.
How can I help you? You
I'd
earned
like to
this.
talk.
How can I help you? Here's the plan. Yes.
Pick up the ledger to Levant. Okay. Now it's only the food merchant left. Because I want the jelly he has in
Can I
store.
help you?
Yes, you can, good sir. 64, right. I'm still gonna sell some junk here. Pay 31. Don't need that, don't need that. Alright. Thanks a bunch. Okay, I'm going to set up camp right over here. I brought a plant tent for this. Oh, almost forgot. Of course, the luxury tent as well. Okay, it's almost 8 p.m. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna sleep 10 hours in the plant tent, so time passes without my needs being reduced. It's not really necessary. I mean, you already know that your food, drink, and sleep will be restored to 100% once you change region. But just for good measure. I want to sleep in the plant tent before that. Also 1 hour in the luxury tent for stamina reduction, stamina cost reduction. Good. So when the 12 hours have passed, your log will not be updated and you do not receive a message about it because, well, it didn't happen. But you can still go ahead and talk to the alchemist, which is what I'm going to do right now. Now, yeah, okay, it's enough time passed.
Is there something you need?
Maybe you have something I want to buy, but you don't, which is why.
You need? Excellent.
Success. That Phytosaur Horn toxin was the key. I finally found one viable option to bring Marshmelons to Levant, but it's downright crazy. If we manage to uproot entire Marshmelon plants and keep them submerged in marsh dirt and a mixture of water and boiled Phytosaur Horn toxin all the way to Levant, we might be able to bring them there before they spoil. Do you have any idea how heavy and large those plants are? How can we move entire Marshmelon plants as far as Levant?
Can you help with this?
We'll have to ask a Sauroborean merchant. They are the only ones with the resources to haul something so gigantic. I hope your pockets are deep, my friend. This won't run on you cheap. Okay, we receive a few plantains. And let's talk to the caravaner over here.
Greetings, friend.
I'd like to talk. I need to talk to you about ending the famine in Levant.
Yes, I heard about that. Sadly, I don't think there's much more we can do.
The journey there is much too long to bring the amount of food they need. I need Saurobo to deliver entire Marshmelon plants to Levant. I'm sorry. For a second I thought you just asked me if we could deliver entire Marshmelon plants to Levant. That's a good one. Elet's name, you're not joking. Give me a minute. I need to speak with some people about this.
Remember this.
Listen, Umberto, I've spoken with my contacts about this and we all agree. This is insanity. Do you have any idea how hard it is to dig up massive swamplands, plus keep them alive crossing a desert? Have you lost your mind? Levant's survival depends on it.
I had a feeling that was the case. There is something you can do that we'd consider a fair trade.
But the price to set this up is out of your range. That said, you're the adventurous type, aren't you? There's something you can do that we consider a fair trade.
Can you lend me a hand?
There's an ancient peace treaty that was written on a stone tablet shortly after the Scourge. Old language on one side, new language on the other. It could effectively be used to translate things written in the old language.
A Rosetta Stone, if you know Orai's ancient history. Bring it to us, and we'll help you with your Marshmelon madness.
And what's the catch?
The catch is that the tablet I want you to fetch is in the possession of the Light Mender.
That lich who lives in the spire in the southwest of the swamp, and he doesn't want to share it. A lich's stone tablet? Steal it. No problem.
Risking the fury of an immortal lich is nothing like bopping a troglodyte on the head.
Avoid fighting him if you can. Alright. The ancient tablet is already in our possession.
Greetings, friend.
Now let's talk to the Caravanner once more. I'd like to talk about ending the famine.
Good job.
You got it! I don't know how you did it, but you got it! Well done! I've spoken with Lane about what you need to do, and it seems feasible, but barely. I've got just about everything set up.
Can you lend me a hand?
Unfortunately, my contacts and favors are all tapped out. I need another investment of 300 silver to wrap this up and get started, but I'm out of places to borrow money. A lot of people went all in on this plan. That's pretty nice, actually. Tell Clayton that Umberto is calling in a favor. I think you'll find that he will be willing to help finance this little business venture.
Ah, yes, he told me about you. You must have something really good on him.
I'll send him the bill. I send a courier to Levant to let them know that they no longer need to worry about the famine and can stop rationing their food. Awesome. Awesome.
Greetings, friend.
And that's pretty much it. Thanks to the preparation we have done, we could cut down on the travel time by quite a lot. And the next thing we have to do is just head back to Levant. So I'm going to see you in the Palace of the Queen. We are back. In Levant, we are in the palace. So let's go ahead and talk to Calixa once more.
You're a miracle worker. The first shipment of Marshmelon showed up right before you did. We averted disaster completely thanks to your efforts.
As far as I'm concerned, you have more than risen to the ideals of the heroic kingdom.
Hey, thanks.
I'll second that. Slaying some massive beast is always impressive to talk about, but saving so many lives from famine is much more nobler indeed.
This is yours.
Oh, by the way, Kirak told me that during his experimentation he created a mixture that seems to permanently increase one's strength. He wanted you to have it. He also said to drink it straight away before it's spoiled.
You deserve this.
Thank you for your efforts. As King of Levant, I have a gift from our armory. You have more than earned it for your hard work, Umberto.
Always a pleasure.
So we have received the ornate pistol and Kirak's, and yeah, I'm just gonna check it later. Okay, the moment Levant needs me, send word.
Many thanks.
That we shall, Umberto. You have earned our trust. Amazing. So, one of the reasons why the heroic kingdom doesn't offer that much equipment or skills or anything is because you can get the skill a chemical experiment, which increases all damage by 15%. So the physical and every elemental damage that you deal. And that's pretty dope. So, the next thing to do, sell the junk that I don't want, prepare for the Heroic Peacemaker, which is the last quest in the Heroic Kingdom quest line. So we are very close to the next trophy. With that out of the way, I'm going to retreat to my dear, dear home. I will see you in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed. May wind be at your back, my friend.